human.
Feel the energy of the state of hockey. Minnesota Wild Hockey is back at Grand Casino Arena. Don't miss the speed, the hits, the roar of the crowd. Get your tickets now. Wild.com/tickets.
We're at Shields, hour number 2 of the 3-hour program. A very controversial, action-packed, fast-paced first hour. We're here at Shields. Why are we here? It's Toys for Tots. Minnesota Vikings have joined forces with a force, the United States Marine Corps, along with Shields, Unreal Apparel, and all of us here at the Fan. And we do this every year where we collect toys for girls and boys. So come on by Shields. We'll be here until 6:30 tonight. Immediately following this show, Dan Barrero, big ticket from 3 until 6:30. Excited and delighted to be joined by Vikings linebacker, Eden Prairie native and former Minnesota Golden Gopher, Blake Cashman. Blake, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
You know, as I told you the last time we talked, I played the game before, both sides of the ball, fierce pass rushing, Rock and Gibraltar run-stopping defensive lineman, precise route running, sure had a pass-catching tight end. So you're not just talking to your normal media guy that doesnn understand the game. I kind of get it. Sort of. Not really.
I always love that one.
Been kind of a tough season, huh? And then, the win-loss, 4-8. I think 5 losses in the last 6 games. But you got to keep moving forward, right? I mean, it's like the schedule moves on, and you got to keep playing.
Absolutely. It's a tough spot to be in. It's definitely, I think, from, our team to our fans, the Vikings loyal, to be where we're at, no one saw it coming. No one expected it, but we got 5 games left, and in this business, as an ultimate competitor, with the guys we have in that building, the locker room, our focus is on finishing the season strong. We got a home game this upcoming weekend, and that's something we have to be better at, is winning at home. And so, our focus is just putting out a good outfit every Sunday and finishing the season out.
Well, I think a lot of it too is just plain pride, right? You don't want to, you get beat 26-0, offenses and scoring, national media on TV, even us local schlubs are going, what's wrong with the club? And it's like, well, no, so you want to go out there just out of sheer pride, right? To put out a good product and win some football games. Absolutely.
And, I told this to the linebackers and then as well as the defense, even before our last game, the circumstance, the situation we're in our season is not what we want. It's not what we were working for. It's not ideal, but you have to play for pride and, play for the men next to you. Play for your family. Play for the people that have supported you to help get you here. And at the whole grand scheme of thing is, the amount of opportunity you get to step between the lines to play this game is far from many. And for most of us, we have less football to play than we've had in the past. So it's like, enjoy the opportunity. Don't ever take it for granted that you get to, put on that uniform and go put your best foot forward every Sunday.
Does that message resonate with all guys? Or some guys take it with a grain of salt, other guys really absorb it, and then maybe in between? But does everybody pretty much understand the message?
I think so. KO, he talks about it in his presses all the time, is, our organization, our team, we got everybody made of the right stuff. And as frustrating as it is, we are still, putting in the necessary work. We want to compete at a high level, not just for ourselves, but we want to do it for our fans and our family. And, that was the message that every person on our sideline against Seattle last week, even when the game was going bad, was like, hey, we're going out here and we're going to, send a message. We're going to continue to play at a high level or put our best foot forward, no matter what the circumstance situation is.
Here's something I think that every player has to deal with, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, we talk about it, of when you look at all the sports across the board, football could be argued as the most physical, the most punishing. By the time you get from week 1 to week where we are now, 13, 14, whatever it is, guys are beat up. There's nobody that doesn't have some aches or pains. How tough is it to when the season's not going well? You're 4-8. You're it looks like no playoff spot. Yet you're beat up. You're nursing ankles or hamstrings or shoulders, whatever. It's got to be a tough grind every week to finish the game on Sunday, get yourself ready for another Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It is no secret. You know, when things are going well and you're winning, obviously everything else is a lot easier. But again, I'll just go back to the word finishing. Like, you know, I'm speaking with my teammates, I'm speaking with my family, and, you know, they're saying the same things. Like, man, you just got to be exhausted. Your body's beat up. Everyone's, you know, mentally super frustrated. But at the end of the day, you know, we have a job and a responsibility to go out there on Sunday and win a football game. And, you know, that's a responsibility to our team, the organization, to our fans of the state of Minnesota. So we've been working hard. We've been playing football all our lives, and, you know, you don't get to the position or the level we're at by not being the ultimate competitor. And it doesn't matter if you're winless or you're winning every game. You're going out there to put the best outfit and to win the game, to play at a high level, to play a complete football game.
Well, this comes up with when Kennedy and I in the air oftentimes. I think what some people lose perspective of is, really, at the end of the day, it really is entertainment. I mean, it's like you sit down, you enjoy watching football. If you're a football fan, you know, you got your 9-to-5 job or whatever the case may be, but you settle down. So you want to at least be entertained, win, lose, or draw. And so, you know, people are spending a lot of money buying gear, buying tickets, you know, watching TV, watching the commercials, going out and buying the products they see. So they're investing their time and money in you. And so, yeah, you don't want to just like, well, we're just going to mail it in here because it isn't working. It's an entertainment industry. It's like people that are in the movie industry, the music industry, television, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. And, you know, the nature of our business, the NFL, especially when things go bad, you know, no team is the same every year. So, especially as a player and as a coach, you got to continue to be a professional, show up and, you know, give good work ethic every day, do your best to, you know, perform at the highest level and show up on Sundays because, you know, whether, I hate to admit, but whether it's with the Vikings or another team, you got to continue to produce because you want to continue to do what you do and to keep a job in this league.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to ask this question the best I can. I'm very intrigued by the defensive playbook side of things, right? Like we always hear about offensive playbooks and you see the coach at the Perkins menu. We never really hear about the defensive plays. And every time you get into like 3rd and long, it looks like there's a different look you guys are giving. So like, is there just like hundreds of play calls that B-Flow has, or is there a certain set of play calls and then players are allowed to kind of improvise and maybe fake here, fake there, and be deceiving? Like, how does that work from a defensive play call standpoint? Because it seems like you guys would have like a lot to remember.
Yeah, you know, Flo, he's a mastermind. He's always going to blitz, bring pressure. We know that, but how we get aligned, all the different looks we give offenses is simply just to cause stress and chaos because teams have to prepare for all of our blitz packages and to present one thing.
How many blitz packages are there?
Ooh, I mean, we put new ones in. This season, we put new ones in every week.
Every week, okay.
A lot of like the early down, it's like we call them hot coverages, where you know we have a lot up on the line of scrimmage. We're sacrificing individuals in coverage, but it's to stop the run, force quick throws. And once we get to, we call G-bot 2nd and long or 3rd down, that's when we can get more exotic, have a lot of moving parts. We got both safeties down. We got linebackers, mugging gaps. And honestly, that's where we're at our best. That's where Brian Flores is at his best because of the stress and chaos it caused teams. But, we work stuff all off season, training camp, and then, going into a game based off what maybe our opponent does well or what the quarterback struggles at, that will shorten our call menu, and that's what we'll carry to the game.
Got it.
Our guest is Blake Cashman, linebacker for the Minnesota Vikings. Let me ask you this. What quarterbacks, name one or two if you can, or offensive coordinators are the toughest to prepare for, where you go, man, got to fit, like I think a lot of people would automatically think Pat Mahomes, but what are the names of the guys that you go, not dissing any other guys, but just the ones that rise to the top? You go, these are the quarterbacks and the offensive coordinators that really they got a bag of tricks like you haven't seen.
Well, first name that comes to mind for an offensive coordinator is Ben Johnson, head coach for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, he's very familiar with the Minnesota Vikings, being the OC for Detroit for how many years it's been, but he's done a tremendous job, and he has a unbelievable mind and creative scheme, play calling, and he just does a really good job at, I think, even this year with the Bears, at remaining patient through the game against our defense. He'll just take 3-4 yards, take a quick throw here for 5-6, and he's okay with doing a 14-play drive, even if it only ends in 3 points, rather than, I think, a lot of coaches, offensive play callers, they get hungry. They want to get the splash play, as I like to say. But from a quarterback standpoint, with our defense, with how complex and exotic it can be, the quarterbacks that tend to do the best, in my opinion, are the ones that have a lot of experience. So,
Your veteran quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, like even this year, an easy name to throw out would be Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. He's seen it all. He's a mastermind back there in the pocket, and he has an idea of how to identify pressure, or if he does get pressure, he has a hot throw right away just to get the ball out quick. And it may not be pretty, it may not be a highlight play, but it gets the ball out. They avoid negativity, and they can try to stay ahead of the chains that way.
Well, getting back to Ben Johnson, is he play calling different with the Bears than he did the Lions? Because the Lions seem to be so explosive. They were putting up 30, 35 points a game, maybe the highest scoring offense, and it seemed like they did do bigger splash plays. So is it my personnel and is that part of it too, or is he the same coach?
I will say some of it's different, obviously, because you have a different roster. You have an offense with, a group of individuals with different skill sets. So any good coach, any good play caller has to, do his play calling, build his scheme around the players he has. And Ben Johnson does a really good job at that. He identifies, good play calls or schemes that put his players in winning situations. But if you do cut on the tape, there is a little carryover, obviously, from when he was in Detroit, because, he has his system he runs. But it's different, I guess, when teams play us, because we're seeing, offense of play calling where it's very conservative for the most part. And a lot of that has to do with teams aren't wanting to absorb any risk against us.
Because when I would watch, Detroit hasn't been as good this year offensively. They just haven't. But I wonder if some of it seems like their offensive line is more beat up. Glasgow retires, Zeitler leaves. And so is it more the offensive line, or is it, John Morton was the play caller for Detroit. He got the playbook yanked from him, and Campbell started doing it. First game worked well, hasn't since then. So to me, it's more than just the court, obviously, more than the coordinator. It's the personnel you have, especially that offensive line. If you give guys time to throw, we say this all the time, there's not a guy in the league that can't throw the ball all over the place. You give him time to throw. I mean, you watch Love against Green Bay on Thanksgiving, or Love against Detroit on Thanksgiving. He had all day back there, and he throws 4 touchdowns, barely throws an incompletion. You give them time to throw, they're going to carve up any defense.
Absolutely. I think whenever a team loses good coordinators, good coaches, good play callers, it's going to hurt your football team. I think Detroit, they've had a lot of injuries this year that always, is going to stress a football team. You have guys, having to take on different roles or doing roles they're not used to, or just even more of a workload than that player is used to. But, aside from the injuries, I think with losing Frank Ragnow when he retired, and then, they got a young guy up there, Jared Goff is somebody that he wants a clean pocket. He wants to keep his feet clean. He's not the most mobile quarterback. So if teams can get that interior pressure or just knock back and get guys in his face, it's going to cause him to be a less accurate.
Well, you guys know about injuries on the offensive line. Darisaw hasn't played every game. Your center's been in and out. Jackson hasn't played. O'Neal missed a few games. There's no consistency there, and if you can't give quarterbacks time, I don't care how young or how veteran they are, it's tough when you got a guy in your face and you don't know where it's coming from. I
agree. I think the game of football is won in the trenches. If you have a solid offensive line, you have, a monster front on your defensive line, like, you're going to make everybody else better. You're going to make everyone else's job easier. I mean, if you're a defensive back and your defensive line is causing quick throws or getting pressure, you don't have to cover guys as long. So it's going to make your job easier. But it's very hard when you have guys in and out of the rotation. Guys are getting injured. Guys are having to play with minimum reps. It stresses a football team for sure, no doubt about it.
You guys got Washington this week. Marcus Mariota has been playing the last couple games. That Jaden Daniels out with that elbow injury, and there's kind of not a lot of clarity on when his return will be. It's possible he could play this week. How does that change your preparation when you don't really 100% know which quarterback is going to start?
Yeah, it doesn't make it easier, but we'll look at what the play calling is for who's under center, and we'll have a plan for both. We'll work that throughout the week, and then normally by the time you get to Thursday or Friday, as you're looking at the injury report, you kind of get a better idea. But from what we've seen as a defense this year, what the play calling's been against us, it hasn't really mattered who we've played or who's on the opposing side. From us, we're kind of seeing the same thing every week now. I was actually surprised at what Seattle was doing to us a little bit, because it, in my opinion, almost was playing into our hand. But we're gonna do what we've been doing, and it just comes down to execution from a player's standpoint.
Wish you the best of luck the rest of the year. I know you'll play hard. We know that. Whatever the results are, we'll have to see. But tough season so far, but best of luck the rest of the way. And thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Give him a round of applause, would you, for Blake Cashman?
Thank you.
Thanks, Blake. Appreciate that. Blake Cashman, Eden Prairie native, and now linebacker with the Vikings. Take a short break. Come back with more. The legendary Mark Rosen joins us next. Broadcasting live from Shields for Toys for Tots. Brought to you by the Vikings, Shields, United States Marine Corps, Unreal, and all of us here at the Fan.
This football season, Bell Bank is giving one KFAN listener each week $1,000 to pay it forward to a charity of their choice. Just head over to KFAN.com, keyword contest, to learn more and how to enter. KFAN.com, keyword contest.
It's a couple 13-14 pass here in the Common Man program. I'm Common, he's 10 to be. We're at Shields for Toys for Tots. What the heck is this? Well, holy moly, Rocky. It's a check, Toys for Tots, from Wellshire Memory Care. Corey, the president, just dropped this off. $1,000 for Toys for Tots. Thank you so much. Seriously. Wow, that'll go a long way. That'll make a lot of girls and boys very, very happy. So thanks again. The Wellshire, I've been working with them for a number of years now. They've been on the Fan. And if you have memory care needs for a loved one, 2 locations. They're in Medina and in Bloomington.
You don't want Common taking care of this.
Yeah,
let's
Medina and in Bloomington.
Someone more responsible.
If you have somebody with memory care issues and you're looking for a place for them to call home where they'll get the dignity and the respect they need, that's the place to go, is the Wellshire. Go visit them sometime soon. I brought up those numbers to Blake Cashman about Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah.
I had no idea. He has, through 5 years, he's second all-time for yards gained by a wide receiver. And, I follow Lions. I'm a Lions rube. I watch, and I know people are thinking, why is a Lions guy working on the Fan? Why are we talking Lions? But you and I, you've liked him for a long time, too. He does
ahead of the curve on him.
Yeah. I think he was part of your Purple Prey. Even if he wasn't, let's go with it. But that's a guy when you're on the field and your team is number 1 in yards, per play. And then when you're on the sideline, you drop to 26. You're making an impact. It's not just because of him catching the ball. It's because, well, now we have to put so many resources towards him that we open it up for other guys. And look, they have a lot of other game-breaking players too. And you got Williams, you've got
we played pretty well when St. Brown went out against Green Bay there.
Exactly. And so you got a lot of players, but those are astonishing numbers. And I like what when I asked Cashman, and he absolutely agreed. So I got a great football mind. It's a lot of pride now because you're out there. You know these guys. When you're getting, well, the Steelers. You saw the Steelers got booed at home, and they were booing Tomlin and calling for his head. And Tomlin had quotes. He goes, "Yeah, I understand. We're just as frustrated." Tomlin takes it in stride, but these guys don't like this. It's like, God, we lost another game with laughing stock. So it's more than just people just think, well, because to me it's human nature to when the season goes, when it unwinds like this, just kind of, well, you know what, just kind of mail it in here a little bit. Just can't wait to the end of the season. But man, you don't want people. You guys are terrible, So, and I, he talked about the message that he gave the other linebackers in the locker room, and I think they all understand where he's coming from, and I would hope it resonates with them. It's like, well, we can't mail it in at this point. So, but it's going to be tough now because, as we know, injury riddled. We think McCarthy's coming back, right? It sounds like he'll play this week. We're pretty
he's
convinced.
Clear to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if he practices tomorrow,
I don't think Brosmer earned taking away the job from him.
No, and it's
But I mean, if you don't have those offensive linemen back, if Darisal's not playing,
well, and that's why
you're not going to give JJ much of an opportunity.
Sunday feels more like I'm going to a wake than I am going to watch a football game, right? I mean, really, it's because it's been...
It's the most winnable game the rest of the year.
Well, it is, and this has been, as somebody had a note, it might have been Mark Craig, esteemed football writer, Fish Wrap Factory, West Side. Then again, it might have been in The Athletic. I don't remember. I read so many different articles. But somebody was talking about, the Vikings are always considered one of the more consistent teams in pro football. And, wins and losses they might be. But it was talking about over like the last 16 years... 8 years we've made the playoffs. 8 years we haven't made the playoffs. So it's like we're not a...
It seems like we're going every other year.
Yeah, it seems like it's going every other year. So last year, and you heard what Cashman said. He said it hasn't gone how we expected it to because I think everybody, including you and I were both... You thought Vikings were going to the big game. A lot of people did. I thought they would be a playoff contender. And then McCarthy probably wasn't as far along as... the team thought, especially, the head coach and the coaching staff, the offensive line.
Or the staff thought they could coach him up.
Or they could coach him up, exactly. Yeah. And the offensive line, it certainly hasn't helped because we talked about it with Cashman. When your offensive line is ravaged, I don't care who you are, you're going to have trouble back there. And so compound maybe not being quite ready for prime time. And then when you put an offensive line in front that's having trouble giving you time to throw, man, it's just that's a recipe for disaster.
I thought Sunday was a day in which we had some things come to its end. Like rest in peace. One would be seeing the Vikings name on the Fox graphic for In the Hunt when they showed the playoff.
Right, yeah.
We're not going to be in the hunt anymore.
No.
And the second would be I don't know if we can call him quarterback whisperer anymore.
Yeah.
Because he got a lot of credit for Dobbs coming in. He was working him through one game. Now J.J. McCarthy has not played well. Max Brosmer had a game. He didn't play well. Wentz was just okay.
Well, and the coach said it. He said, he said it back in September. He said, he feels, I had to paraphrase it, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but that franchises fail young quarterbacks more than young quarterbacks fail franchises. And, I think we've both done enough reading lately and recently. It is hard for these kids. You learn little chunks. Unless you're, some guys are well advanced. It just comes naturally to them, I think, quicker than others. They were doing the comparisons between McCarthy and all the other guys that have come before him. There's a stat, we'll look at it later, maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, where if you look at since like 2015 or 2016, you look at all the different quarterbacks that were drafted in the first rounds, and the one that had the worst statistics, Jared Goff was below McCarthy. They have a list of 30 quarterbacks. He was below him, but look where Goff is now. Goff's been to a big game.
Yeah.
They they were one half away from going to another big game until they blew it against San Francisco. So it is a learning process. I guess everybody has to stay patient. But you wonder, the big question becomes, how patient can you stay? I think you really have to see some strides here in the last 5. And if you decide to go next year, my guess is they will bring them back, but they'll bring a veteran quarterback and not just a backup type veteran quarterback, somebody they think that you're going to compete with him. And, if we want it to be you, but if you're not there, we got to go with a veteran, because you can't continue to put out this kind of a product for the fans, because you'll turn them off in a real hurry. And then the coaching staff becomes liable for that, and then their jobs are in jeopardy. So we'll break. We'll come back. We'll do 5-3-4, a belated 5-3-4. What you got, Tina?
Will the Twins' purge continue?
If you want to chime into what's happening with your favorite KFAN shows, you can. You can make your voice heard on the Brad, Sean, Bryant KFAN text line. Just let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That is 64686. Standard text message and data rates apply.
Please help us out here today, would you? If you're in the neighborhood, even if you're not, if you're out and about today, pick up a toy somewhere. You can buy one at Shields. We're at Shields in Eden Prairie for Toys for Tots. Brought to you by the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings, United States Marine Corps, Shields, Unreal, and all of us here at the Fan. So just pick up a toy. There's a lot of kids out there that are in need of toys. Santa ain't going to leave nothing under the tree. So come on by. We have bins here. When Barrero starts, first 50 people that drop off a gift will get an Unreal stocking cap, and it's a pretty nice cap. So, but please do that sometime
Give it a little
today.
bit.
Yeah, or we take cash too. If you don't have the time to go get a toy, just go ahead, cash. Just mention that Corey from Welshire dropped off $1,000 check. So people do donate cash or checks, so you can do that as well. A cash, check, or a toy. We'd certainly like to see you bring it by sometime between now and 6:30. Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Better late than never. It's a belated 5-3-4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1. Programming predicament.
Tough one on the tube tonight. The Timberwolves are at New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. That's a 7:00 start.
And that's a hell of a matchup.
Yeah. FanDuel Sports Network Plus. You can also, of course, listen to it on the Wolves channel on the iHeartRadio app. I would just set that as one of your presets if I were you.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Frost are at Ottawa tonight. That's at 6 p.m. on Fox 9 Plus and Prime.
Do those two teams like each other or not?
They don't like each other very much, no. And the Wild are in Edmonton to take on Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. 8 p.m. start. You can watch it on FanDuel Sports Network. Of course, you can hear that game right here on the Fan. Myself and Kevin Fulness, by the way, extended Wild Weekly, KFAN Wild Weekly at 7 o'clock tonight.
Oh, suddenly on the bandwagon now after
leading you up to that game.
11-1-1 November, and suddenly they're doing extra work for the Wild. Before it was like, don't let the penalty box door hit you on the way out.
Common, what are you going to do about tonight's? What are you going to do about tonight's?
Blakemore.
Programming predicament.
Well, first of all, there's no reason to watch the Wild. They're going to win. I mean, right? I mean, you already know the outcome of that game, so I don't know why I'd watch that. Boy, that New Orleans team's pretty good. Have they won a game this year?
I'm sure Rosen knows. He's an NBA expert.
Yeah, I don't think maybe 3 games. So, that's one of those where the Wolves will only have to play at half speed and they'll win by 20 or 25. They'll make it close.
Yeah.
The Frost game might be the best choice of all of them, but then Deuce on Game Time Minnesota.
Well, that's the predicament right there.
Well, he's calling a Lakeville North, I think boys, it could be girls, but he's calling a Lakeville North hockey game. So I think
Who do they got?
What's that?
Who do they got?
Oh, they've got a team that they don't like very much. I can't remember who it is now. But that's whoever it is, that's why I might listen to my son do hockey on GameTimeMinnesota.com. So that's my choice on programming predicament. Either that or Gilligan's Island, Rockford Files.
Question number 2.
Never gets old, does it?
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score. It's now time to delve deep into Twins
Who
territory.
am I shouting out to? Who am I shouting out to? Joe and Fridley. Annie was here and says, you're just so jealous you're not here.
Friendly Fridley.
Friendly Fridley?
Yeah.
Joe wishes he was here. Joe loves me. Annie likes me too. I don't know if she loves me, but she likes me. And so it's cool.
Are you ready for your Twins question?
Hey, Joe, what are you doing in Fridley instead of Shields?
ESPN.com today had a column titled 2025-2026 offseason, ranking players who could be traded.
Ooh.
Your Minnesota Twins had 3 players in the top 8 of these rankings.
Let me guess. Pablo Lopez, Joe Ryan, Byron Buxton.
Yeah, they had Byron Buxton ranked 5 with a 35% chance of getting traded. Joe Ryan ranked 6th, 50% chance of getting traded.
50-50.
Pablo Lopez ranked 8th, 50% chance of getting traded. Common, what is most likely to happen? The Twins trade none, 1, 2, or all 3 of those players.
Ooh. Well, I wish I could get in Joe Polad's head. I'm not sure how much is there, but I'd like to get inside that head because I don't know what the team... Do they intend on even trying a little bit? If they do, you can't get rid of pitching because that is, I mean, I know we talk about it all the time. Tommy Kelly said it, and he's right, and he's not the first to say it. If you pitch and play defense, you give yourself a chance to win the ball game. Hubba, hubba, hubba. So trading pitching would mean you are saying it's over. We don't care. We're just trying to.
Well, they just care about the pocketbook.
Yeah, we care about the pocketbook, and we'll worry about that later. We're in a long-term 5-10 year rebuild. So I would hope they. I mean, I could see Buxton for a couple of reasons. Apparently. Has he publicly said he'd be willing to waive that, or that's just speculation? I think it's speculation.
I think it was reported by a respectable reporter.
So,
but basically, if they're selling others, then he'd be willing to waive his trade.
Right. So then you look at a guy like that and you say, well, he just had his very best year ever last year. Happened to coincide with his healthiest year he's ever had. Well, what are the chances he's going to continue to have that really good health, right? Because every other year has pretty much been injury-riddled, save one. So I would think that would be one where he's at his highest value now, right? Played well in the outfield. We know he's a 5-tool kind of a guy, and he played like a 5-tool guy. I would think there's a pretty good chance. I would say 1. And then Lopez, he had a couple of injuries last year, didn't he? He had one like in the middle of the season. I think he was out late, too. But, of course, Ryan,
Ryan doesn't make a lot right now, but he'd due for a big deal.
And I don't think he's particularly pleased with the organization. I don't think. I'm just guessing. I'm talking about what
him and me both.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because what he said in the story, there was a story, and I still have it saved on my handheld, which doubles as. He said, well, there's a lot of things I don't like, but I really think we made a big mistake getting rid of Sonny Gray. He was not happy. He's still bringing that up last year, a year and a half after it happened. So I don't think he has any love lost for the organization. He's probably appreciative of him having a chance to establish himself as a big-time pitcher, but I think he would be more than happy to go. So I don't think all 3, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I would think Buxton would be the most likely if he waives his.
If 2 or 3 of them go, just shut it down.
Yeah.
Nobody's showing up to Target Field this summer.
Because me, I've told you this. Now I don't go to games anymore. But for me, a good pitching matchup will intrigue me to turn it on TV. And I would even go to, if you're going to have a game where it's 2 pitchers that aren't very good, I have no interest. I don't want to watch a 6-7 non-pitching game. But if you have 2 really good pitchers, I go, hey, I'd like to watch this. It might be kind of fun because the games go faster that way too. But yeah, if you get rid of all guys, shut her down.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We haven't heard about the minority owners yet, right? I don't think they've officially signed on, which might be another reason why they're just trying to purge finances.
Yeah.
And then is it also possible they could sell the team to a majority owner, and that majority owner wants the team stripped down first?
The last scenario, I still think they want to keep it. So I don't know if that one's, it could happen. I'm not saying it wouldn't. The other one though, I thought we would find out much sooner who these minority partners are, but we have no idea. And
maybe there was a Glenn Taylor, A-Rod, Laurie type hang-up.
Or do they need to be approved first before they make an announcement? Maybe they haven't been approved.
How long does that take?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just a little worried about it. Question number 3.
LaBelle was here earlier, by the way. So get him on.
NFL No Huddle.
Ooh, here we go.
All right, Common, if the playoffs started today, the Chicago Bears would be the number 1 seed in the NFC. Common, are the Bears a fraud or for real?
Fraud, really? Can there be two? I'm not sure yet. I mean, I like teams that find ways to win, and I know all the things you can say about it. Their quarterback still hasn't been brilliant. They've been doing it mostly on a running game, right? And timely defense. Most of the teams they've beaten, Philadelphia, of course, Philadelphia had struggled the last week before, too. But
Still a good one.
it's still a good one.
Yeah.
But I think most of the other ones against teams that haven't particularly played very well. And that's not their fault. You hear me say it all the time. They don't put the schedule together. They don't put the other team's rosters together. But and I wasn't joking yesterday. Once the teams, Detroit and the Vikings, are out of it, I like picking another team. I mean, I don't live or die by it, but it's fun to have. And I don't mind picking teams in the division other than the Packers. I can't root Packers. But I could root for the Bears because they're fun to watch because they seem to be doing it with a lot of smoke and mirrors. They don't have they're not star-studded. I mean, we think Williams has a chance to be generational. Have a couple of wide receivers they think are good, but I like them. So I don't know if they're for real, but I'll say yeah. I'll say they'll.
I'm in trouble because when the Vikings get knocked out, my teams are Lions and Chiefs. Those are the two teams I like.
Yep.
Well, all three of them might not make it.
Yeah.
I can't be a Jaguars fan.
Jaguars.
I can't be a Broncos fan.
No. Though I do like the Bo Nix kid.
I can't cheer
He's
for the
fun to
Eagles.
watch. Bo Nix is fun to watch. No, I can't cheer Eagles either.
Yeah. There we go. Should we stick with fraud or for real? The New England Patriots, they defeated the New York Giants 33-15 last night, improved to 11-2. They are the top seed in the AFC. Common, are the Patriots a fraud or for real?
I think they're for real. I don't have their schedule in front of me. I don't know if they've just beaten losing teams as well. The Knicks.
The quarterback's for real.
He's real good. They
Drake
said
May.
Drake May. They said the difference from last year to this year. I watched some of it with kind of half an ear, half an eye because it was a blowout. But he's made the adjustments that he's needed to make on whatever his weaknesses were, and I don't remember which ones they brought up. They may not be strengths now, but they're not hurting him. He's learned quickly. He gets the ball or rid of the ball right away. He throws on target. He's everything we'd like to see in J.J. McCarthy. He really is. He's that good. So I think quarterback.
The Vikings reportedly wanted to give up below. They move up and get him.
I think a lot of teams did. And so I think just with the quarterback play alone, is it Vrabel? He's our coach,
yeah,
right?
He's a good coach.
He knows what he's doing. He's played for world champions, so I think they're for real for sure. Yeah.
All right, one more. The Jacksonville Jaguars now live. Is it Jaguars or Jaguars?
Let's go with Jaguars.
They now lead the AFC South after winning their past 3 games. They are 8-4. Of course, so are the Colts, but they currently have the tiebreaker. Common, are the Jaguars a fraud or for real?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you rather become a fan of the Jaguars, or would you rather get a Jaguar from your local Jaguar?
I'd rather get a Jaguar.
Yeah, I think I am too.
Yeah.
If I get it for free. I think they're frauds. I mean, you never know. It's the old chip chair chance once you get in the tournament. The beauty of football, it's one game and that's it. It's not like NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball. It's a series, so you can have a clunker, still come back and win. So anything can happen, but I don't.
Colts are starting to look a little more fragile in that division.
Well, they got Danny Dimes is going to play with a broken fibula.
Yeah.
Danny, don't.
But they haven't been running the ball as well lately. Jones been turning the ball over.
Maybe Jaguars are for real.
Houston in that division still might have a chance. They're one game back in both those teams. Their defenses.
I was reading some numbers, and by the way, one of their best defensive players is a guy that used to play for us, Daniil Hunter. Is he double-digit sacks?
No idea.
I think he's double-digit sacks this year. So that's a really good defensive unit. They're good, and defense wins championships, man. I love their all red uniforms. Do you like those?
I don't like the red helmets.
I just like the whole thing. I don't know why. Just do.
Can we do one more question quickly before we get to Mark Rosen?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Let's move on.
Is Rosen
Question number
for
3.
real or a fraud?
Fraud.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
It's time now to consider the course.
15-time major champion Tiger Woods said that he only started chipping and putting last week and doesn't know when he might return to competitive golf. Woods speaking to reporters today at the Hero World Challenge in the Bahamas. I'd like to go there, by the way, for the Hero World Challenge.
Well, I'd like to cover his return.
We should. He said he's not far along in his recovery from surgery to replace a disc in his lower back. that had caused pain and mobility issues. Common, what is the future for Tiger Woods?
I know he loves the game. It's been his life, and you never want to give it up. But it seems like, dude, you're like Frankenstein's monster. You have different body parts. They've all been busted up. Buddy wants to play. I read a story. I want to get your response to this. There was a story, and I only read the first paragraph because I kind of thought it was preposterous. If he goes to play, Legends Tour, Senior Tour, there's talk that the PGA Tour they're concerned that he might take attention away.
Oh, of course he will.
Yeah, but to that degree, I mean, especially, I'm just telling you, I like me some Tiger. I really do. I've always enjoyed watching him play, and I got some Rube in me when it comes to Woods. But if I'm going to watch, if it comes around and it's a good leaderboard in the PGA, or it's Tiger battling Hale Irwin, I'm out, man. I'm watching the PGA Tour. I am. But that's one of the concerns, is that he might draw eyes away.
I agree. Like, that's only going to go so far. I think the first time or two,
yes,
he's going to draw some attention, but he's not playing against the highest level players, so people are going to stop caring about him.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
That's it.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
I've been flagged for a false start because about 40 minutes ago I said the legendary Mark Rosen's about to join us. I had my clock management was awful. I thought it was like almost 2 o'clock. It was 1:17. I was 45 minutes off. But the legendary one is here. He joins us next live at Shields. Please come by and bring some toys. We really need your help. As many toys as you can bring. High-ranking executive guy, he brought 3 trunk loads of toys.
Wow.
3 trunk loads of toys. So we would love for you. You don't have to go that far. We'd love it. But please come by and bring a toy for a needy girl and boy. It's our Toys for Tots drive. It's going on at Shields here in Eden Prairie. Stop by between now and 6:30 and drop off a toy. Our Toys for Tots broadcast is brought to you by our friends with the Minnesota Vikings, United States Marine Corps, Shields, Unreal, and all of us here at the Fan.